Welcome back, friends, as we continue restoring our 74 model CB450. As with most projects, and you'll know what I'm talking about, you start looking at one thing and you find something else. So I was thinking, hey, my girl needs some new shoes, so let's get her a pair of new Metzlers. But I would like to put something a little bigger on here. This thing comes spec'd with a 3.5 by 18 on the rear, and I said, well, I sure would like to put a little bit bigger tire on there. I wonder how much room we have. So I got to looking down here at the swing arms, and man, we got plenty of room there. It's almost like we have too much room. Then I got to looking here, and I'm going, holy mackerel, that axle is way, way back. So, got me to thinking, if the axle's that far back, then maybe I need to investigate the chain. And that's what we've done here. You can see on the inside, closest to me here is the old chain, and we got a brand new DID chain sitting on top of it. We've got 91 links plus one master link will make it 92, which seems to be the number spec for this bike. Believe it or not, the chain on the outside, the new DID, I have cut to 93 links. 91, 93. That's how much this chain has stretched. And I said, man, now I know what that kind of chugging and surging was when I was just kind of idling along at 40 miles an hour cutting through the countryside. This whole thing was just kind of surging, just a type of thing when you're not really on the gas. And that's because the drivetrain was all yanking on itself. Chain, front sprocket, rear sprocket, all taking up the slack there. If you look down at this thing, I mean, the space just between the rollers on the new chain and the old chain is so different. I actually got to looking and made sure it was the right chain in the box. Yeah, it's a 530. Because there's that much difference, I thought it was the wrong chain. So I got looking at my sprockets. The one in the middle is the sprocket that came on it, or just came off the bike, I should say. And you can see on the inside, this thing is worn down to a nice machine finish. It's worn down so far in here, and you can see the difference. Here's what the teeth look like on a brand new sprocket. Here's the one that came off of it, and you can see the teeth are starting to shark fin a little bit, and down in the valley here where the roller resides, it goes down quite a bit farther. This one here is the one off the cafe bike back there that we got all apart, and you know, Stevie Wonder could see that this one is hell. Just look how pointed these teeth are, how deep they are. Just pure junk is all this is. So what we're going to do is, let's take these two up here. Put a complete new drivetrain in here, and you can do this pretty cheap. New counter sprocket here is going to run you about, well, it ran me $15.95 at the Honda shop. New rear sprocket that I don't have in just yet, I paid $35 on eBay for that, and a new chain for $50. So for $100, you are good to go. Now this looks all nice and shiny and pretty and clean in here, but I spent 30 minutes and an entire can of brake parts cleaner, had to put a pan underneath here, with a putty knife digging out all the crap in here. And I probably ended up with about a half a beer can full of sludge and just dirt. It was just nasty. But it's all nice and clean now, so it got me to thinking about, well, what kind of lube are we going to use? So, got to thinking, well, what do we have in stock? Well, this Bow Shield T9 is pretty good, but nah, it would just cake up too much. Obviously, WD-40 is a no-go. Maybe in a pinch you want to clean your chain with that, but you don't want to lube it. So we're going to try this Honda Pro Performance, or High Performance Pro Honda chain lube with white graphite. Now, sprayed some of this stuff out. It's kind of interesting. Get on your fingers here. And then it dissipates almost immediately. Can't even hardly see it was there. So we're gonna see how that works. Worst case scenario, if I don't like it, I'll take the chain off, degrease it, and I'll try something else. But the guy at the Honda shop said, hey, this is pretty good stuff. Of course, I was reaching for the old can of, the black and yellow can of PJ1, good old reliable, and then sitting next to it is the Bel-Ray blue and white can. And he says, people just don't use that near as much. It cakes up too much, and you're not gonna like it. So anyway, what we're gonna do here is take our DID chain, which is a good quality chain made in Japan. We're gonna completely degrease it because now when they ship this thing over in the containers, I just want to make sure there's not going to be any rust problems. These things sit on the shelf for a long time sometimes, and it's just real thick lubricant they put on there. So we're gonna clean this thing in kerosene. Kerosene, still works pretty good. You can use it on your high dollar chains too. It won't hurt O-rings. So we're gonna clean it up, dry it off, blow it out. We have no time constraints here, so I'm not in a big hurry. This might not work for you guys that are trying to clean your chain Saturday afternoon and go back out for a ride, but we're gonna let our chain completely dry from the kerosene and before we lube it. And like I said, if this lube doesn't work out, there's plenty out there. We'll try something else. So anyway, that's kind of how we started this project. It's going to be a project that needed to be done. The bike is going to feel so much different riding it now as we looked at these sprockets and how bad they were. She's going to get new sprockets and a new chain, and the stretch on the old chain is just, to me, mind-boggling. So if you're feeling that little surge, that little jerking along there on your bike too, might be time for you to check your chain as well. So that's today's project in a nutshell. Hope you like what you saw. Don't forget to subscribe. Give us a thumbs up if you like the video, and catch up with us on our next project. Till next time, you guys be safe. See you down the road. Adios.